how I build evergreen faceless YouTube AI channels, I'm going to be going over my entire structure and internal methods. Now guys, this video is going to show you the step-by-step processes I used and have used to scale numerous automated AI YouTube channels to 10K a month, as well as evidence and how I've sort of done this. Now, what I'm going to go into depth is on how I structure the teams, organize the content, and how I can replicate any YouTube niche in the same day with an automated team handling everything for me, from video ideation to script writing to everything else. Now guys, really quick, if you want to join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Once again, just a super cool networking environment, and it's of course free. And guys, really quick, this is not financial advice. It's simply me giving my own opinion on what I've kind of done in the past and how it's worked for me. Now, first things first, what is an evergreen YouTube niche? Now, I briefly touched on this yesterday, but I see a lot of people asking, well, what does evergreen even mean? Can you give some more information? Now, an example of a YouTube niche that would be not evergreen would be a channel like this: 3 hours of Stranger Things lore to fall asleep to. Now, yes, they are making like $20,000 to $30,000 a month posting ultra long form content because the RPM is like $25. But what I mean by evergreen is a channel that will be relevant 5 years from now. Those videos you're posting every single day will still get views 5 years from now. And on a niche like this, where they're posting Stranger Things lore, it really won't be. The show's going to die out and it's not going to be relevant. Whereas a niche that would be relevant would be a channel similar to Space Dust. They also post ultra long form content and they're making a similar amount of money. But of course, these video ideas like the scariest place in the universe explained, who really built the pyramids, content like this is always going to be relevant regardless of pre-existing trends and what's kind of popular in the world. So it's crucial that when you are choosing your initial niche, and whenever I'm starting a brand new evergreen faceless YouTube channel, I'm always choosing a niche that has sustainability and will be relevant. Now, the first things first is obviously finding your specific niche. Now, let's say for the sake of today's video, the niche that I wanted to start internally with my team was a channel like this, Good Night Sleep. Now, they're essentially posting videos about medieval lore and different kind of shows and genres. You fall asleep in a Viking tavern listening to stories, 3 hours of oblivion tales for sleep. Obviously, if you go ahead and check their revenue, they are pulling in an insane amount of money, 790,000 views a month, and they're posting 3 to 7 hour long videos. RPM is probably about $25. So in terms of revenue, this one channel is making close to 20K a month. And again, they've been going for about 2 years now. In that time, they've got 23 million views, but total revenue is over $500,000. Insane for an ultra long form channel. And these are the exact type of channels we want to be copying when I mention evergreen. Now, how do I actually start by replicating this channel? How do I do this with my internal team so it's zero extra stress on my end? So the first thing is figuring out your creation process. What full stack do you need to replicate their content? Now, for example, by watching one of their videos, we can dissect this immediately. First things first, which I should mention, is you want to make sure the channel you are choosing is of course monetized, which of course this one is. Now, there are instances where you don't actually need voice acting or script writing. Now, an example of a channel like this would be Drift Away Ambience. So when you are dissecting what niche you want to get into, it's crucial that you know the exact stacks you need to actually replicate each specific niche. Now, for this niche, they literally just use music, so you wouldn't need voice acting and you wouldn't need script writing. Rather, you'd need to get a music generation library. So we know that this channel obviously does require voice acting and script writing. So we have our entire stack here. What we know is if we replicate these 5 processes, we will be able to replicate this exact channel in its exact style to the same quality. Now, there are multiple ways to kind of go about doing all of these. I'm going to briefly touch through all of them right now. I'm going to speed run it. For voice acting, you of course want to use 11 Labs, but you don't want to pay the price that 11 Labs costs. So 3 alternatives actually. You can use Gen AI Pro, it's just cheap 11 Labs. You can use Algro.online. By the way, none of these are sponsored. Or you can use AI33.pro. These are all really cheap alternatives to 11 Labs. And again, you can literally just take the 11 Labs of voice ID that you want and generate them in these softwares for like 1/99th of the price. That's voice acting. Thumbnail design, very, very easy as well. We can either use Gemini, ChatGPT, or vidIQ. vidIQ is by far the best. Again, not sponsored at all. But for example, let me show you how insane this is. Like, let's say, for example, I wanted to copy this Tavern Tales idea. I'd literally grab the URL. And again, I want to make sure you guys know this is not sponsored. It's literally me showing you how effing insane this software is. I literally upload the YouTube URL. So all I'm saying is copy this thumbnail style 1-for-1, but make it Japanese tales with a samurai instead. So rather than having the Viking and Tavern tales, we're going to do samurai tales with a Japanese samurai. And again, these are the ways you can do thumbnail design for completely free. None of these cost money. vidIQ is completely free. ChatGPT image generation is free, and so is vidIQ. So again, I'm keeping you guys open to being able to use any software, and I want to make sure anybody can get into this regardless of your budget. And just like that, tell me this is not effing insane. Thumbnail completely finished. So I would obviously say use vidIQ IQ, but again, it's completely up to you. Next thing, video ideation. This is very self-explanatory. You either use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. These are the big three. Don't use anything else. Now, video ideation essentially means coming up with the ideas of each specific video. So for example, if we went to this guy's channel, we take a screenshot of their most recent videos, go over to ChatGPT or whatever software you might be using, send them the screenshot, say copy their style of content and give me 20 vid ideas in the same niche optimized for CTR. Again, it does go more in depth than this. You want to kind of train the model to be perfect for what you need. But again, this is super easy. And just like that, you fall asleep in an elven library, listening to ancient lore, night shift radio from a medieval kingdom, 3 hours of forgotten Celtic myths. Video ideation, very, very easy. I am speed running this for you guys. Next thing, script writing. This is a no-brainer. You either want to use ChatGPT, Deep Research, or you want to use Claude, or my personal favorite, which is obviously the best option, Produce.so. Now you might be saying, what the hell is Produce.so? It's my own personal software where we can literally copy an entire 3 to 4 hour script in literal minutes. So signing into Produce.so, all you have to do is grab the URL of the video you want to copy, literally go to the script studio, train your niche, paste in the URL, and it's essentially going to dissect their exact script style and save it to your trained niches. You can literally go ahead and click on it once it's been trained, create a script in this style, choose a length. It's built for ultra long form and regular long form. I always use this for ultra long form. One of the biggest problems you'll see when you do use ChatGPT, and again, I want this to be available for everybody. That's why I'm giving you the option to use the free version. But again, one of the problems with ChatGPT is if you say make a 4 hour script, some of you guys might have realized it doesn't actually do it. Whereas with Produce, you literally choose a length you want, whether it's 3 hours long, type the title in, type some additional notes, press continue, and your script will literally be done in 5 minutes and it will be a 3 to 4 hour script. Like for example, if I go to my script section, you can see here one of the channels we actually run. It's an ultra long form niche that we just started. It's called The Geek Theorist. It's already starting to get some decent results in the ultra long form space, and all the scripts and all the videos, again, Produce can do videos, I'll show you later, but all of them were made with Produce. You can see here, if we click on view, the entire script with every single part was made in Produce in literal minutes. You can just copy the whole thing to clipboard. Now, again, if you can't afford Produce, which I understand a lot of you guys can't, go ahead and use ChatGPT, make sure you're using Deep Research, send it the transcript of the video you want to copy and say replicate this exact style. But again, be prepared that sometimes the scripts won't be as optimized as if you use a software like Produce. And finally, we have video generation. Now, don't worry, I am going to show you guys how to actually hire team members to do all of this for you later in the video. But if you want to do video generation, very simple. You either use Produce.so. We can literally do ultra long form videos in a few minutes. Let me show you what I mean. If we go to the video library, these are just some of the videos we've made recently. And by the way, this is a 3 hour video made using my software in minutes with zero things needed.
Hey there, welcome back. Get comfortable and settle.
The entire 4 hour video with subtitles, with music, with voice acting, with everything in Produce. Now you might be saying, how the hell does that work? You go over to the generate video section, choose the niche that you want to use. We have hundreds. Click on it, go ahead and press continue. Upload your image duration, your title, your target duration, your audio file, your music, and even subtitles. Now again, if you can't afford Produce, literally just do it yourself. Grab the stock footage, grab the images, grab the videos, and just compile them together in CapCut. Use a CapCut auto subtitler, and it will replicate exactly what Produce is doing. The only difference is when you are exporting an ultra long form video, it can take like 3 to 4 hours, whereas when you use Produce, it does the entire thing in like 5 minutes because we have so many servers. And again, if you guys want to check out Produce, use the promo code RELEASE. It'll give you a 10% off discount for the first 2 people to use it. Once again, it goes really quickly after every video. So if you guys have been thinking about it, make sure you are using that code. Now, this is where it gets very important and the whole point of this video. Organizing a team versus doing it yourself. Now, I see so many people that want to rush into hiring a team to handle everything for them so they can start scaling so many more channels. The problem is, yes, it's a great idea. It is so good, and that's what I personally do for all of my channels. I don't run anything anymore. The problem with doing it straight away is that you're going to get burnt out and you're going to be spending so much money unless you hire somebody for like $2 an hour from a third world country, and even then it might not be high quality. So when is it actually worth onboarding somebody to handle everything, and where do you find that person? Now, there's numerous ways to do this. I would say once you've got at least one channel doing a couple $1,000s a month, it's probably worth it to hire somebody, teach them the exact strategies of how you do that channel, and then leave them to their own devices. And I'll tell you if I want to use equity or if you want to pay up front right after this. But again, don't immediately rush into it unless you have the budget that is sustainable for you to hire that person for 3 months with no results. Now, again, this is where it gets super important. Once you are ready to hire somebody, you need to make sure they know exactly how to structure the videos from creation to video ideation. Now, one of the good things with ChatGPT is if you're using ChatGPT for script writing or video ideation, you can actually create a project and then share it with your team members. So for example, if you've already trained a perfect chat on video ideation, you can run your team members through exactly how to do this, make a document that literally walks through the whole video ideation process and send that to them so they can learn exactly what you do and replicate that for every video going forward. Now, where do I actually find somebody? There's numerous places. Best place, in my opinion, is going to be Upwork. Now, you can literally set exactly what you need. And again, you want to be working on a payment system, but I'll talk about that later. So either use Upwork and make a listing, or my personal favorite, discord.gg/creative paradise. Now, this is the Discord server. Once again, not sponsored. They've got like 40K members. They have a job channel. You can literally post a job for what you're looking for, and you'll get hundreds of applicants. And again, you can offer them equity, or you can offer them a fixed fee that you pay them every single month. So equity versus upfront payment. This is what I personally do. Now, what I like to do is for the start of a channel, I like to actually offer them a fixed amount, whether that's $300 a month to do daily videos on this channel. And of course, if they see the channel's doing well and you start making, let's say $5,000 to even $10,000 a month, then you want to start implementing equity. Now, what do I mean by equity? That's essentially a percentage. If the channel's making $5K a month, you might say, I'm going to give you a $500 a month retainer as well as 10% equity. Now, the reason you want to give equity is you want to give them incentive for the videos to do well. For example, if they find a winning topic, why would they continue to replicate that topic if they're not getting anything from it? That's why equity is such a big factor in this space. And I see so many people being stingers and not wanting to give up any percentage. One of the important things is giving up that 10% is going to make up for that extra 10% and maybe even more than that from the person having motivation to continue pushing on that specific channel. Now guys, once again, if you want to check out my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Once again, a super cool networking environment. And if you do want to check out produce.so to generate ultra long form videos and scripts in literal minutes, go ahead and click the link below or just type up produce.so. And once again, use the promo code release for a 10% off discount. That'll work for the first 2 people. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.